Welcome, CarolAnn. Thank you for joining me today. This is first in a little series that I'm going to try talking to friends and other lovely creative people and having a chat, seeing what people are up to creatively. So what have you been up to, CarolAnn, during this kind of spell of isolation?
Weird time.
It's weird.
Well, I'm trying to catch up with some projects that have been ongoing for years. So I have been with some fabric I got from India in 2018 with a friend. I've actually been doing a lot of really lovely slow stitching on the fabric, so making a sort of camphor cushion for her, really.
Lovely.
I'm also in the process of doing 2 double quilts, hand stitching, for both my daughters, so you can imagine how big that is.
Yeah.
But lovely slow stitching, running stitch on them. And
what do you like about slow stitching particularly?
For me, I think it's that really lovely methodical, it makes you slow down, and you can think about all sorts of things. Really, for me it's quite meditative, and I like the slow process of it.
Yeah. It's quite different, obviously, from what I do because.
Oh yes, yeah. You're full speed. Although you did do your hand stitch virtual log cabin, which was fabulous.
I did. I can hand stitch. I just.
Yes, I'm very cool.
Yeah.
I know.
Is there a particular technique that really inspires you, that really gets you going?
Well, I really love stitch shibori. So again, that's stitching into fabric, and then the Japanese method, which is a very old method. So you do a design. So I've got some pieces if you want.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
So,
proper show and tell.
Yes. So these are only like little beginners sections. So you can see I folded the fabric. You can use vintage fabric or new. I mean, I tend to use Whaley's prepared for dyeing cotton. And then you stitch into it, and then you pull all the threads, so you kind of end up with like a little sea creature, which is fabulous. You can see that. But actually, if you look on the back, you can kind of see I've got a circle with a pattern in, and then a cross.
I like some negative space running through.
It's not just about stitching any old towel. You do have to think about where you put your stitches, so that when you draw your threads, it's much easier when you've dyed it, and then you've got the task of undoing all the stitches. But it is a slow process again, but it's a really lovely one because
it requires an element of planning as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Like this piece is going to be a very large ginkgo flower.
Lovely. I can see that.
More on the back there. I want to do a piece in memory of my father, and I'm looking at pohagi. I probably said that wrong. It's that lovely like French seam process of quilting. So I want to incorporate that with the stitch shibori. So you don't. It is a surprise because you don't know with your stitching, and you don't know with your dyeing what you're going to get.
Okay.
You do.
So after the stitch, it's pulled up and then dyed.
Yes.
Okay.
So nice to do on like a day-to-day would be amazing in the garden. So then, once you've pulled it all out, just show you these little pieces. This is a big piece, but
gorgeous.
So a lot of stitching.
And has that been dip dyed once, or?
No, I think I probably dyed this about 3 times. Probably dipped it about 3 times. You can get like watermarks. You can almost see the watermarks. Sorry, I'm not showing very well there.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Because you do have to soak the fabric before you dye it. And that's an old cotton, so it's quite nice. You can use cottons that you've already got. Yeah,
you can recycle things.
Yeah, which I used old linens. I don't know if you can see there. Like really.
Yes. Yeah. Nice.
That's some old tablecloths that somebody gave me.
Yeah.
So it's also, like I say, it's a nice way of recycling.
Is recycling important in your work?
Yes, it is really. Yeah, I think the combination of vintage fabrics and new fabrics I really like that, and you know, I get very excited about an old piece of fabric, which is, you know, which lots of people do, don't they? But also equally new fabrics exciting. But then
I know you like your upcycling of clothes and things like that. Yeah, CarolAnn has some of the most beautiful hand stitched collars on shirts. They're very, very, very lovely. And what, CarolAnn, are you looking forward to after we get out of this little phase?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing workshops again, because I really miss connecting with people and sitting, sewing together and talking, and that's sharing. And I do think you've been doing a fantastic job with your feet every day, because it's such a lovely way to connect, isn't it? It's so important.
It's really important that we connect. It's important that we see faces and that we chat and smile and kind of look at one another, so we don't forget what one another looks like.
It's a tactile thing, isn't it? So, you know, whilst at the moment I can sort of get on with some jobs that I really do need to finish, as in the quilt, which my daughter wants me to do, I'm excited to sort of teach again and just get out and feel. I can leave the gate, which is important to see.
It is important, and I suppose we should say that we worked together for quite a long time, didn't we, on the Military Wives project, where we were working each week or every other week with groups of women, teaching them how to sew and helping to support their development. And doing a lot of community work, community quilt making.
Really important. It's that, I suppose it's that thing, isn't it, getting together, creating something, and then actually stitching it together to make a beautiful piece. And it's the stories, it's really, that was such a fantastic project.
It's the stories that people come out with while they're slowly stitching together and alongside one another. It's very lovely. And I know that we both feel quite honoured and privileged to be able to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So very good. But you've got your virtual log cabin, which is fantastic, across the world now.
Virtual log cabin quilt is building. I think we're on 250 to 300 pieces at the moment. Building
amazing. Brilliant, isn't it, how people from all over the world have sent some, you know, that photograph, their virtual photograph. So
it's fabulous.
It's good.
CarolAnn, thank you very much for joining me today, and I am looking forward to us going out for dinner when this is all over.
A few cocktails, you know. Of course, we never drink, but you know.
No, never. Hopefully,
it'll be lovely. All right, take care.
Take care,
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.